Cleveland. Demetrius Harris there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And we're back now here in Cleveland, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to us.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. 12 yards there and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people...
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Joseph now to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Yeah, he better hope that he's lonesome because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Jackson. Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this...
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Fighting through it. He's got space.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Tim Williams in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that.
And he's going to get into the end zone. So the fake spike works, and they score. A 22-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. They'll look to throw.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Keeps himself upright. And he'll be taken down. And for the moment, a big loss, but we do have a penalty marker to attend to.
Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And escapes the sack. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Back to throw here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is going to be incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line. Boy, going for it at this stage in the second half, back in the shadow of your own goalpost. Excellent. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He's got daylight. The 40, 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Joseph on for the extra point. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
Here's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Travis Carey. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80%.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. One last shot for Jackson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.